Have you ever thought about what makes some people age well while others get worse quickly after 65? The truth might surprise you. While most people your age are already losing important skills, a few rare people keep amazing abilities that predict not just being independent, but also living much longer. What if I told you there are 7 specific abilities that, if you can still do them between 65 and 80, put you in a special group of aging that doctors rarely see? In this video, I'll show you these powerful signs that not only prove you're aging very well, but could add 10 or more years to your life. Let me tell you about Howard, a 78-year-old retired engineer who shocked his doctor during a regular checkup. After finishing several tests, the doctor looked up from his papers with real surprise. "Howard," he said, "according to these tests, your physical and mental function matches someone in their early 60s. Howard was confused. He didn't do anything special, just his normal daily routine. What he didn't know was that his everyday habits had saved abilities that most of his friends had already lost. These weren't just impressive party tricks. They were powerful signs that Howard would likely live 10 to 15 years longer than his friends. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what these abilities are so you can see where you stand. The first sign is that you can stand up from a chair without using your hands. Can you get up from a sitting position without pushing off with your hands? This simple action is actually a powerful way to predict how long you'll live. Most people don't know that by age 70, nearly 60% of adults can no longer do this basic movement without help. Researchers at the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy have found that this one movement is so telling that it's now used as a main screening tool for longevity. Dr. Sarah Matthews, lead researcher in the study, explains, "The ability to stand from a sitting position without using your hands shows exceptional lower body strength, balance, and muscle coordination. These 3 factors directly predict both lifespan and independence in aging adults." Look at someone like Deborah, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. While at her monthly book club, she noticed something strange. She was the only one who could get up from the sofa without pushing off with her hands or asking for help. "I never thought anything of it," she told me. "I just thought everyone could do this." What Deborah didn't know was that this simple ability meant she had kept important muscle mass and balance that her friends had lost years ago. 6 months later, 2 of her friends had falls that led to going to the hospital, while Deborah stayed active and independent. Want to test yourself right now? Try this. Sit in a chair with your arms crossed over your chest. Now, without leaning forward too much or using your hands, stand up. Can you do it smoothly? If yes, you have an amazing ability that puts you in a rare group of aging. If you struggled with this test, don't worry. You can make this ability stronger starting today with simple practice. Do 5 chair stands every morning before breakfast. Sit down, then stand up without using your hands. Start with just 1 if that's all you can manage, and slowly build up. Do this daily, and within 3 weeks, you'll notice big improvement. Don't wait until you've lost this ability completely. The time to make these muscles stronger is now, before they get weaker. Your future independence literally depends on it. The second sign is that you can have a conversation while walking. When you walk with someone, can you keep up a clear conversation without needing to pause, slow down, or catch your breath? If so, you have an amazing ability that most of your friends have already lost. Have you noticed how some people your age need to stop walking when they start talking? That's not just a personal choice, it's a warning sign. Brain doctors at the Mayo Clinic have found what they call dual task ability as one of the most powerful ways to predict brain health and longevity. Dr. James Wilson, director of geriatric brain medicine, states, "The ability to walk and talk at the same time requires exceptional oxygen use, brain blood flow, and nerve system integration. When these systems begin to fail, walking while talking is one of the first activities to become challenging." Consider Gerald, a 76-year-old retired accountant who regularly walked with his neighborhood friends. Over time, he noticed that his friends would either slow to almost stopping when making a point in conversation or would walk quietly, only speaking when they paused. Gerald, however, could keep the same walking pace while discussing complex topics. What he didn't know was that this natural ability put him in a special group of thinking and heart health. 3 years later, two of Gerald's walking companions had suffered strokes, while Gerald remained healthy and active. His doctor explained that Gerald's ability to walk and talk at the same time had been a clear sign of better brain health and blood flow all along. Here's what you can do today. On your next walk, practice keeping your normal pace while saying a poem, singing a song, or even counting backward from 100. If you find this challenging, start with just 30 seconds of walking while speaking, then slowly increase the time. This isn't just an exercise. It's brain training that could literally save your life. Start today, because every day you wait, these nerve pathways become harder to keep or rebuild. The third sign is that you can balance on one foot for 10 or more seconds. Can you stand on one foot for at least 10 seconds without holding on to anything? This may seem small, but it's actually a powerful way to predict your death risk. Try it right now. Set a timer and lift one foot slightly off the ground. How long can you keep your balance? A groundbreaking study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine tracked over 1,700 adults and made a shocking discovery. Lead researcher Dr. 𝐎𝐥𝐝𝐲 reports, participants who couldn't balance on one leg for 10 seconds had an 84% higher risk of death within the next decade compared to those who could complete this simple test. This balance test proved to be a more accurate way to predict death than even age, sex, or underlying health conditions. Take Alice, age 74, who regularly practiced balance exercises ever since she retired. During a family gathering, her sister Irene, also in her 70s, laughed when Alice showed her ability to stand on one foot. "That's silly," Irene said. "Why would anyone need to do that at our age?" 3 months later, Irene suffered a serious fall that broke her hip, leading to problems that affected her independence for years. Alice, meanwhile, continued living actively, traveling, and enjoying life without fear of falling. The most shocking part? This ability can be improved at any age. Here's what you should do immediately. Stand near a counter or sturdy chair for safety, then practice balancing on one foot for just 5 seconds. Do this 3 times on each foot every day. As you improve, extend the time to 10, then 15 seconds. The best time to do this is while brushing your teeth or waiting for your coffee to brew. Simple moments where you can add this life-saving practice into your routine. Don't wait for a fall to realize how important balance is. By the time most people recognize their balance has gotten worse, it's often after a serious injury. Start building this ability today, even if you can only manage a few seconds. Your future self will thank you when you remain steady, confident, and fall free while your friends struggle with moving around. The fourth sign is that you remember names and recent events clearly. Can you recall the names of people you have recently met? Do you remember details from conversations you had last week without struggling? If so, you have a thinking ability that's quickly disappearing among your friends, and it's one of the strongest ways to predict exceptional brain aging. Brain scientists at Harvard Medical School have discovered that the ability to remember names and recent events after age 65 shows remarkably saved nerve networks. Dr. Emily Carson explains, contrary to popular belief, significant memory decline is not normal aging. Adults who keep strong recall ability, particularly for names and recent events, show better brain connection patterns that relate directly with longevity and resistance to memory loss. Consider Walter, age 75, who surprised his family during a birthday gathering by remembering not only everyone's names, but also details from conversations they'd had months earlier. His son joked, "Dad has a better memory than I do." What his family didn't know was that Walter's exceptional memory wasn't just impressive. It was a powerful sign that his brain was aging at a much slower rate than his friends. Recent studies show that adults who keep this type of memory function after 65 have a 47% lower risk of developing memory loss and typically live 7 to 10 years longer than those with normal age-related memory decline. Here's a simple practice you can start today to make this ability stronger. When you meet someone new, repeat their name immediately in conversation and make a mental note of one distinct feature about them. Before bed each night, review the names and details of people you met that day. This creates stronger nerve pathways for recall. If you're already having some memory challenges, start with just one name per day and slowly build up. The key is consistency. This simple practice, done daily, can greatly improve your memory function within weeks. Don't accept memory decline as unavoidable. The exceptional few who keep strong recall ability into their 70s and 80s aren't just lucky. They're actively saving one of the most powerful predictors of a long, independent life. Will you join them? Start this practice today before more nerve connections are lost. The fifth sign is that you sleep soundly and wake refreshed. Do you consistently sleep through the night and wake up feeling genuinely refreshed? If so, you have a body advantage that's becoming increasingly rare after 65, and it could add years to your life. How did you sleep last night? Did you wake up multiple times, or did you enjoy deep, healing sleep? According to sleep researchers at Stanford University's Center for Sleep Sciences, quality sleep becomes increasingly uncommon as we age, yet it remains one of the strongest ways to predict longevity. Dr. Richard Thompson notes, "Our research shows that adults over 65 who keep efficient sleep cycles have significantly lower levels of inflammation markers, better thinking function, and a 32% reduced risk of heart events compared to those with broken sleep patterns." Look at someone like Diana, age 77, who made sleep habits a priority throughout her life. While her friends increasingly relied on sleep medications and still complained of feeling tired, Diana kept natural sleep patterns and woke with energy. What she didn't know was that this ability put her in an amazing group of aging. Her doctor later explained that her sleep efficiency was comparable to someone 20 years younger, a factor that contributed to her remarkable health while her friends developed chronic conditions. Here's what you can do tonight to improve this important ability. Establish a consistent sleep routine by going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Remove screen time at least 1 hour before bed, as the blue light disrupts melatonin production. Keep your bedroom cool between 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit and completely dark. If you wake during the night, resist checking the time, as this creates anxiety that makes returning to sleep more difficult. Most importantly, if you're currently relying on sleep medications, talk to your doctor about gradually transitioning to natural sleep. While this may be challenging initially, research shows that natural sleep provides far more protective benefits than medicated sleep. Don't underestimate the power of quality sleep. It's not just about feeling good. It's about giving your body time to repair cell damage, clear brain toxins, and regulate important hormones. Those rare individuals who keep excellent sleep after 65 aren't just lucky. They're extending their lives with every restful night. Will you join them? Put these changes into practice tonight, because every night of poor sleep speeds up aging in ways you can't afford. The sixth sign is that you can hold a meaningful conversation without dominating it. Have you noticed how some people your age tend to dominate conversations or repeatedly share the same stories without realizing it? Can you still engage in balanced give-and-take conversations where you listen as much as you speak? This rare social ability reveals amazing brain function after 65. Social brain scientists at UCLA have discovered that conversational give and take, the ability to listen carefully and respond appropriately without talking too much, shows exceptional prefrontal cortex activity in older adults. Dr. Amanda Sutton explains, the prefrontal cortex, which controls social awareness and impulse control, typically shows significant decline with age. Adults who keep conversational balance after 65 demonstrate remarkable preservation of executive function, which relates strongly with extended lifespan and thinking health. Consider Victor, age 81, whose friends and family genuinely enjoyed his company. While many of his friends found themselves increasingly isolated, Victor kept meaningful relationships because conversations with him felt balanced and engaging. He asked questions, listened carefully, and shared thoughtfully without dominating discussions. What he didn't know was that this social skill wasn't just making him pleasant company. It was reflecting amazing brain preservation that predicted an exceptional lifespan. The most fascinating part? This ability can be made stronger with simple practice. Here's what you can do today. In your next conversation, consciously monitor how much you're speaking versus listening. Set a mental goal to ask at least 2 questions for every story you share. Practice active listening by briefly summarizing what the other person has said before responding with your own thoughts. This isn't just good manners. It's brain training that strengthens nerve networks important for thinking longevity. If you notice you've been speaking for more than a minute without interaction, pause and invite the other person's input. This simple awareness can dramatically improve your social connections while simultaneously exercising crucial brain functions. Don't underestimate how exceptional this ability is. By age 70, the majority of adults show significant decline in conversational give and take. If you still keep this skill, you're showing amazing brain preservation. If you've noticed some decline, start practicing today. These nerve pathways can be strengthened at any age, but the sooner you begin, the better your results will be. The seventh sign is that you adapt to new technology without major resistance. Do you learn and adapt to new technology without significant frustration or resistance? Can you navigate a smartphone, use basic apps, or learn new digital tools when necessary? If so, you have a thinking flexibility that becomes increasingly rare after 65, and it's directly linked to your potential lifespan. Research from MIT's 𝐎𝐥𝐝𝐲 lab reveals that willingness and ability to adapt to technological changes is one of the strongest ways to predict kept independence and thinking health and aging. Dr. Joseph Coughlin, director of the 𝐎𝐥𝐝𝐲 lab, states, "We've found that seniors who can adapt to new technologies show better neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new nerve connections. This adaptability doesn't just make life more convenient, it predicts extended independence and significantly lower rates of thinking decline." Take Emily, age 76, who embraced smartphones and digital tools while many of her friends refused to learn, saying they were too old or it was too complicated. When the pandemic hit, Emily easily transitioned to video calls, online shopping, and digital health management. Her tech-resistant friends became increasingly isolated and dependent on others. What Emily didn't know was that her willingness to learn these new skills wasn't just keeping her connected. It was keeping crucial nerve pathways that directly contribute to longevity. The remarkable discovery is that tech adaptability isn't about prior experience or inherent ability. It's about attitude and practice. Here's what you can do today to make this capacity stronger. Identify one digital skill you've been avoiding or struggling with, whether it's using a specific app, setting up online banking, or learning to video chat. Spend just 10 minutes daily practicing this skill using online tutorials or asking for help when needed. The key is approaching new technology with curiosity rather than frustration. When you encounter difficulties, instead of thinking, "I'm too old for this," try, "I haven't learned this yet." This simple shift in mindset activates different nerve pathways and dramatically improves learning and outcomes. Don't underestimate how exceptional this ability is. By age 70, over 60% of adults show significant resistance to technological adaptation. If you're still willing and able to learn new digital skills, you're showing remarkable thinking flexibility. If this area is challenging for you, start small today. Even 10 minutes of practice strengthens the nerve connections that keep your brain adaptable, engaged, and biologically younger. These 7 abilities aren't just impressive, they're powerful signs that you're aging at a rate significantly slower than your friends. If you can perform even 3 or 4 of these functions with ease, you have amazing vitality for your age. If some are challenging, the simple practices I've shared can help you make these abilities stronger starting today. Remember, these aren't just convenient skills. They're powerful ways to predict how long and how well you'll live in the years ahead. The exceptional few who keep these abilities into their 70s and 80s aren't just lucky, they're actively saving the functions that protect independence, vitality, and lifespan. If you found this information valuable, hit the like button right now and comment below which of these 7 abilities you still have. I'd love to know where you stand. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video on the simple daily exercises that make these exact abilities stronger. Share this with someone you care about who's over 65. This information could completely transform how they approach aging and potentially add years to their life.